Hi friends, welcome to another session of Sharing by Pete. So today I'm going to talk about eczema, right? Now, as you know, eczema, it's something which is pretty common with young children and even adults these days in Malaysia, right? So what do you know about eczema actually? Well, I'm going to share a bit about eczema and also my experience with eczema, not a personal experience, but a testimonial from my son, Zenden, my youngest kid in the family. So let's dive in and just find out more about eczema, right? Okay. So I've done some digging as well, and this is what I came out, right? So as you can see here, it's been reported in the Star newspaper of late that it's estimated that about 20% Malaysian somehow or rather affected with eczema, and 90% of them developing this condition at a very young age. So what they're trying to say is that eczema can affect a child at a very young age, and if it's not treated, it will carry on to the teenage phase. And subsequently, if it's not treated, resolved during the teenage phase, it will carry forward to the adult phase. So that means what we're trying to say is that it is something that we really need to learn and to understand how we can overcome eczema, right? Okay. So what we understand is there are many types of eczema out there, right? The common ones, as you know, which I'll share with you later, but basically eczema is a skin condition that causes, itchiness and inflammation of the skin, right? So it's also medically known as atopic dermatitis, right? So eczema can be found on your face, on your wrists, the inner surface of your elbows and knees, which may cause the skin to thicken, right? So this long-term condition, or we call it a chronic condition, that causes itchiness, it's something that you may have to live with it. And if you don't treat it now, and you don't take charge and resolve this issue right now, it will, be something that you live with for life. And this is what we don't want, right? And this is what, this is my sharing today. We don't want to have this suffering for life. So I'd like to share that eczema is not contagious. So don't be afraid when you see somebody suffering from eczema. Say, hey, don't come near me. I don't want you to infect me with eczema. So no, it doesn't. Okay, eczema is not contagious, right? So what are the cause of eczema, right? So let's have a look, right? What are the common causes? Actually, scientists and medical experts have found out that it's most actually caused by genetic, means it's hereditary, it's passed on by your parents and your grandparents and your forefathers. But also the environment will also trigger it, right? Trigger, that means if you are staying in a dusty environment, a dirty environment, and polluted environment, it may also trigger off your eczema, which has been dormant, and you don't know, it just came out with flares, right? So the common examples of eczema out there at the moment is you have atopic dermatitis, contact dermatitis, acidrotic eczema, hand eczema, neurodermatitis, nummular eczema, and stasis dermatitis. But I'm going to zoom in specifically on atopic dermatitis today because it's something which I've learned, I think, for the last 10 years. Is because of my son's battle of eczema. That's why I got to know so much about atopic dermatitis, right? So what is atopic dermatitis or atopic eczema, we used to call it? So it's actually a very common type of eczema which usually develops in a person during their childhood. In this case, my son, right? My 10-year-old son. So it either gets milder or goes away by adulthood. So again, remember what I told you just now, if it doesn't go away during your childhood, it will carry on to your adulthood. So what it means, basically, atopic dermatitis occurs when your skin's natural barrier is weakened, right? We have a natural barrier here. So what happens when this barrier is weakened, it will cause your skin to be inflamed by irritants and allergens, right? And I say it can be caused by a combination of factors such as genes, dry skin, immune system problems, and environmental triggers. So it is important that, we must boost our immune system to make sure that, we can overcome symptoms like that, the atopic dermatitis. So among the symptoms of atopic dermatitis are frequent rash in the creases of your elbows and knees. And then you will find lightened, darkened, and thickened skin areas where the rashes, right? These are very common symptoms. And also you find small bumps that leak fluid if you scratch them. And also frequent rash on scalp for some, and cheeks, especially among babies, right? Cheeks and also the neck area. These are the normal areas that the babies will get such symptoms. And also skin infection caused by scratching. So this happened to my poor son since childbirth. As you can see here, Zandon, lovely boy, full of smiles. But you can see in the picture, in the photo, that he's actually started developing that rash. Just you can look at the photo on the left. He's got this red patchy redness. We thought, initially those days was a baby rash. We don't know, right? Because young parents, we have no experience with eczema and all that. You see the other picture as well. You can see the reddish patches on his neck. So those were actually symptoms of atopic eczema. It really started after childbirth. So when picture was taken when it's about 6 months old. So then, it became a 10-year-old battle for us because it was still manageable when he was a toddler, but the moment he stepped foot into school, especially primary school, as you know, he's exposed to the hot sun, he's in the classroom, and it's not air conditioned, it's full of dust, and that's where his atopic eczema actually flared, right? In flares, he started scratching, and the wounds will not heal, and it's reddish, and even if he has recovered, the wound is still there, it's raw, it's terrible, it's painful, and every night he couldn't sleep well. He wanted us to scratch him, because he gets itchy at night. And, we give him a lot of medication, we apply a lot of creams, but it doesn't solve the problem. So it's been ongoing since when he was in primary school at the age of 7 until 10. And just last year, he was hospitalized because it became so severe. His whole body was covered with rash. And I can remember one day when I woke him up from his bed, the entire bed sheet was covered with blood. It's like a CSI scene, crime scene investigation. If you guys have watched it, it's terrible. It's horrible. And I wouldn't even want to show pictures of that. So what happened was we got him hospitalized. And fortunately, he was hospitalized in the GHKL, right, General Hospital, Kuala Lumpur. Fortunately, we came across the head of dermatologist, a very experienced dermatologist, who shared, this with us, me and my wife, and told us that, your son's condition is something that you have to manage for long term, right? Because she told me that if you do not resolve this problem during his childhood, it may carry forward to his teenage, and subsequently, if you do not resolve his eczema during his teenage years, it will carry forward to adulthood. So this is something that, we never knew how to tackle this problem. We just knew, if he's suffering from flares and all that, we send him to the doctor, a specialist, get some cream and some medication, and try to reduce the inflammation, if you like, and slowly let him recover. But it's a vicious cycle. The moment he recovers, the next month he's back again. And that's where the specialist told us that, the head of dermatologists from GHKL told us that, it will not go away. The virus will still be hiding behind the skin, right? As you know, and the skin, it is so thin, it's so fragile, they will attack again. So that becomes an endless cycle. So what happened was that I said, what do we do then? then it becomes an endless battle, isn't it? Right? He recovers and he gets it again the next month. The skin will flare, and he's got infection, inflammation, and all that. So, thankfully, my sisters introduced me to Shiruto. So Shiruto is actually a natural berry extract imported from Japan that helps to boost your immune system, right? So we gave him 2 packets of Shiruto in the morning and 2 packets at night. We tried it, and amazingly, you can see from the first day, right? On the third day, it shows quite a significant sign of improvement. As you can see that the skin is, the redness is going, the soreness is going away, it's drying up the wound, the open wound. So much so on the 7th day, it's almost all dried up, right? You can see the patches there. And we keep on giving him 4 sachets a day, 2 in the morning and 2 at night. And thank God on the 14th day, you can see amazing recovery, huge transformation. But of course, the scar will always be there. The scar will still be there. It is something that, unfortunately, my child has to live with it. But we are glad that with Shiruto, we are now able to manage his eczema, right? Meaning we don't administer steroidal creams and medication and antibiotics these days because after this whole episode, this whole saga, we decided to just give him Shiruto on a daily basis because we know it's working for him. So this is what happens, right? It's improved, his complexion has improved, skin condition has improved tremendously. And I said, 2 packets of Shiruto a day keeps the doctor away. Yeah, so so there you go, guys. Sounds too good to be true, but it's really an amazing product. It has really helped my son and my child. And I hope that as parents, and also maybe your uncle or aunts to your niece and nephews who are suffering from eczema or atopic eczema in particular, please consider giving them Shiruto because it has worked for my child. And I think it will definitely work for your children and your niece and nephews as well. Yeah, okay. So stay safe, stay home. Give me a buzz, PM me if you want to know more about Shiruto. That's all my sharing for you guys today. And stay tuned for more. All right? Cheers.